It was a terrible night for China at UFC Fight Night. Davison Figueiredo versus Song Yadong. They went 1-6, and the rest of the fights were really good. Today we're going to be recapping the main card of the UFC Fight Night going on with Alex Perez versus Sumadarji. One thing I have to say about this fight is all of the fans are idiots. People are saying that Sumadarji's kick didn't even land, as well as Alex Perez was faking. I want you to imagine for a second that you are getting a whip straight to your testicles. Crack! Because that's basically what Sumadarji's lengthy legs are with a low kick like that. And you're not going to instantly puke. You're an idiot. And the people on Twitter saying all this stuff, they may have never watched an MMA fight in their entire life. But otherwise, the fight was pretty good. I thought that Alex Perez was going to dominate the fight from the start. Alex Perez did pretty fine in the first round. I think it was a pretty split, even round. And then Sumadarji, going into the second round, dropped Alex Perez with the right cross. And it put Alex Perez down. And Alex Perez was doing pretty well. It dropped him, but it didn't put him out. Unlike what Michael Bisping said, Alex Perez is struggling to survive here. Again, who was watching this fight? I'm not sure. But Sumadarji did great until he whipped Alex Perez in the testicles and the fight was over. He was puking at the bucket for 5 minutes and then they decided to call it. But the rules state that if there's any puke or any gagging or anything like that, that the fight is over from there. So that was a bad call on the ref. That is, it's over. The fight's over when stuff like that happens. But fight was pretty good. Fans, absolutely horrible. On to the next fight. Jake Matthews versus Carlston Harris. Jake Matthews. Fuck you. Not because Jake Matthews ruined my parlay. What is he doing? I'm so confused. The first round was amazing from Jake Matthews. Absolutely beating up Carlston Harris on the feet, which he should have for a week's notice. Smashing him in the face. Carlston Harris basically completely out on his feet. Okay, 10-8. Easy. On to the next one. We're finishing him round 2. Yeah. That's what we would think. We go on to round 2. Jake Matthews, again, shoots a takedown. No, Carlston Harris shoots a takedown on Jake Matthews. Jake Matthews rests in top position for the entire round, even though he was destroying Carlston Harris in the feet. No submissions, nothing like that. Maybe an arm triangle that didn't work out at all. And then we go into round 3. Jake Matthews, and I'm not even joking you, flatline KOs Carlston Harris to the canvas. Carlston Harris slimps over like he just took fentanyl and then hits his head against the canvas and then wakes up. And then I really think Jake Matthews might be a scholar of our next generation because you know what he decides to do? Lay and half guard for 5 minutes straight. Genius. Throw a couple submission attempts. Do horrible ground and pound. Like, I'm so confused on his thought process for this thing. He had Carlston Harris flatline KO'd, smacks his face against the canvas, wakes up. If he would have stood up in that next moment, Jake Matthews would have gotten an amazing finish and a $25,000 bonus. It might be like he doesn't want any money at all. And he might actually be terrible at fighting. And I said in the prediction video that he's actually pretty good. No. He will be murdered in his next fight. Murder. And he would deserve it. Because, you know, he did ruin my parlay. And I'm mad about it. But still, that was a messed up performance from you, Jake Matthews. Fuck you. Even though you beat my ass. And I know you would. But that's okay. On to the next fight. Kaya Sakura versus Cameron Smotherman. He got a performance of the bonus for this one. Very good for him. I'm very happy for him. He had a rough start in the UFC, losing to Pantoja. You can't get mad at him for that at all. And then he went on to lose to Tim Elliott, which you kind of can get mad at him. But now we're starting to see that maybe flyweight was really draining him because he came out with a crazy performance against Cameron Smotherman. even though Cameron Smotherman isn't anything and his claim to fame now is faking passing out. Ooh, he really evolved. But Kai Sakura absolutely destroyed Cameron Smotherman. In 1 minute and 50 seconds, Kai Sakura lands a right hook and it wobbles Smotherman completely. And then Kai Sakura blitzes in right after that, lands another right hook, wobbles him again, left hook, right hook, and then a left hook puts Smotherman out completely cold, eyes wide open on the canvas like that. It's time for Cameron Smotherman to be cut from the UFC. He hasn't done anything great. He's got destroyed by Kai Sakura. I'm so happy for Kai Sakura. I love his personality. I think he's a wholesome guy, and I can't wait to see more of him in the UFC, and I hope he fights someone like, after a couple wins, I would love to see a super fight with him and Alexandre Topuria. Not a super fight, but it'd be pretty good. I think it'd be an awesome fight, and I think their styles would be fun to watch. On the next fight, the fatty went down in 39 seconds. By the way, I want to mention, I was 5 for 5 on my main card picks. All of them were correct. And this one I was so happy about, because not only do I hate him, but Sergey Pavlovich is back. He looked great. He looked so happy. I really enjoyed that. Sergey Pavlovich was very happy, and Talis Teixeira let this shit happen. After Talis Teixeira got knocked out, he was smiling. He was happy. Dude, the CCP paid him off or something. I'm not sure. But Talis Teixeira was happy to be knocked out. But I was happy they got knocked out too, because he does not belong in the top 3 if he won that fight at all. But Pavlovich landed a right hook, dropped Talis Teixeira, but it didn't even land the fist. It was all forearm. But Pavlovich's follow-up shots were so nasty and on point. While Teixeira was falling, Pavlovich bang, bang, while he was going down. Tagged him both times, completely put him out. Great performance for Pavlovich. We love to see it. And I can't wait to see him in another contender fight. I think he's going to have to fight the winner of Hockett Lewis, because heavyweight's really messy right now, because the winner of Gan Pereira will fight Aspinall and then Volkov. So maybe Pavlovich Volkov too. Seems a little soon for that. And I do want to mention, whatever Pavlovich called for the title shot, Michael Bisping said, so you want the winner of Pereira Gan? It looks like they're trying to phase out Aspinall. That's what I think. Because they wouldn't mention his name for the title at all. It was Pereira Gan, not Aspinall. They don't recognize him as a title. So I thought that was really weird. I think they're giving a lot of disrespect to Aspinall there. And they truly see the Pereira Gan as a true heavyweight champ matchup. So I thought that was really weird for Michael Bisping. But he was being weird the entire night. So on to the next one. Zhang Ming Yang versus Alonzo Minifield. Zhang Ming Yang is a bitch. And I will stand by that. And I picked Alonzo Minifield as the underdog. Alonzo Minifield would never do something like that ever again. If your best win is Anthony Smith, Zhang Ming Yang, then you're not top 15 worthy. That's just the truth. He broke after a couple right hooks and then went straight down. It was a firefight. It was a really good fight for a while. But I said exactly what was going to happen. Alonzo Minifield held him in the clinch for a little bit, and then Zhang Ming Yang got tired, outcrafted, and then put away. That's just what happens. There's not much to say about this fight. It was a fun fight, back and forth, but Alonzo Minifield put him away, and Zhang Ming Yang, in front of his home crowd of China, by the way, all the world watching, with a layup matchup, gets put away like that. Absolutely embarrassing. It hurts. It hurts because he's fun. He's fun to watch, but he just breaks. He's weak. Not like the next fight. Song Yadong versus Davison Figueiredo. Retire, Figueiredo. If you're getting subbed and you're the BJJ black belt guy, you gotta go, man. It's time to hang it up. And retire semi-gracefully. Again, you lost by submission to Corey Sandhagen and now Song Yadong. And that's your stuff, by the way. But Song Yadong had a great performance here. I thought after the first round, even though Figueiredo, I think, won it, that Song Yadong was just waiting to knock him out. And it was just going to be a matter of time. It was 5 rounds. Song Yadong was just going to have to KO him as soon as he could. And I thought that was what's going to happen. But Figueiredo shot in a takedown and Song Yudong got his head, bang, submission locked in. Figueiredo tapped. The ref didn't see it, and then he let go like, oh, I think I might survive this. Song Yudong's squeezed harder, tapping like a maniac. Song Yudong was doing those peppering shots, and they were really, really good. Figueiredo also looked pretty good. He was like going in and out. Not much to complain about, but he's not. What I noticed is he doesn't fight to win. He fights to survive. Song Yudong is fighting there to win. He wants to finish the fight. Figueiredo's old, man. His bones are going away. He's fighting to survive, and Song Yudong fought to win, and they looked both just okay, but Song Yudong looked phenomenal in the finishing sequence, and Figueiredo needs to retire. It's over for him. Song Yudong, you can fight Peyton Talbot for a higher up fight. The winner can fight the Marab, Peter Yan loser, and that's how that can go. But I think Song Yudong is going to look great, and I underestimated him a lot in his career. But I picked him to win this fight, and I will continue to do so because he looked really good this fight. Even though I said he looked mediocre, but he looked a lot better than he has before. So, Song Yudong, look forward to seeing you. But if you haven't seen this card, go watch it now. It was a phenomenal card. I would give it a 9 out of 10. It was amazing. Even some highlights from earlier on in the card. Ray Saruya had an awesome performance, and so did Cody Haddon. They both did amazing jobs against their opponents. Ray Saruya, improvements were made. He can hold down his opponents a lot better now. And Cody Haddon destroyed, and I figured out his name, Oral Kanji. So it was awesome to hear. But for picks-wise, I got the main card completely right. And then 2, 3, 4 out of 7 on the prelims. So I think it had a pretty good night. But fuck you, Jake Matthews. You ruined my parlay. And make sure to like and subscribe. And have a great night.